Okay, everyone, it's been a bit of a wait here, and it's been a long campaign, but it's finally over, and we did it. We absolutely did it. They said getting reelected would be tough, and they were absolutely right. When we started the campaign, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. In fact, it felt like the movie Digstown, where, in a very short amount of time, I had to face 10 challengers. Basically, it felt like all in one day. But through it all, our team vowed that we would stay positive, to always take the high road, and something I feel very strongly about. That's the approach I've always taken, and we decided that was absolutely the way we were going to move forward. To me, what it means is that the people of Sudbury do believe that being nice is not a sign of weakness, that bullying is never okay, and I'm so pleased that we ran a very positive campaign. We would focus on what has been accomplished over the last 4 years, and how now is not the time to stop or stall or sputter. We've got so much momentum in our community, and how it was so important to keep this momentum going, especially at this point in time in the city of Greater Sudbury. I'm proud of all of the work that we did. And tonight, it's obvious the people of Sudbury are also proud of everything that's been accomplished. I'm truly grateful to anyone who is willing to put their names out, and speaking about all of the other candidates, put your name and your face out there. And in these days, it goes along with your family. Your entire reputation, and it's not easy with the social media out there, but I think you have to appreciate everyone who wants to serve their community. I'm truly grateful for anyone who is willing to enter the election races to make our city greater. Patricia, Dan, Cody, they all ran strong campaigns, but I'm very happy with the result, obviously, and happy for my wife and for my family as well. Before we kick off the election party, there are a few people I'd like to thank. First off is my family, my wife Lori. Since this is sort of election results night 2, my son and my daughter and my daughter-in-law and my grandsons weren't able to stay today. They're all working, but they, along with my parents, Leo and Inga, have followed this election so closely. They're virtually an extension of our election team. My campaign team. Bob Montgomery. Bob, you did an amazing job on your interview. And so, the thing is people stretch, right? People shine at certain times. And I thank you, Bob, for everything that you've done. Bob's an amazing friend. He was an amazing campaign manager. And I did, however, learn one thing. Bob and I can't put decals on a motorhome. Okay, that turns into a campaign office. It's somewhat, you probably understand, it's something like hanging wallpaper, and it just didn't work out for us. So Bob ended up putting the decals on the mobile campaign office. Bob worked hard, and he worked so hard that he put his own campaign ahead of his own health. And It took a while for us to figure out what was going on, but he put everything that he had into it. In fact, and this is kind of an inside joke, but I didn't tell anyone. I secretly had a generator and a second battery installed in our mobile campaign office as a makeshift defibrillator, just in case he wouldn't back off. And so, kidding aside, he did so much to help us succeed. And so, Bob, I'm truly grateful for everything that you've done. Much appreciated. I see Rick Bartolucci, who's here tonight. Thank you, Rick, for your advice, for your wisdom, for your trust in me as a candidate. Many times I relied on you for direction and advice, and I'm really grateful for your endorsement and your support throughout this campaign. There's so many people here. My wife Lori, we actually, I think it's a trend. We've run 2 campaigns now that are very tight campaigns. A small group of close friends and family. And Lori was actually my sign and volunteer coordinator. And all of our friends, family who worked countless hours, walked countless kilometers. You would not believe the kilometers that some of our friends walked in helping out the campaign and supporting the campaign. Alex, our CFO, there's Alex. Thank you so much for keeping everything on track. And everyone who contributed to our campaign in any way. And lastly, I want to thank everyone here at the Ambassador Hotel. Thank you for your support. I guess I'd also be remiss if I didn't recognize the staff in the mayor's office who've kept things running. It's tough. You're still the mayor, and there's a campaign to run. The staff in my office have been working so hard for the last 4 years in supporting myself as mayor and supporting the citizens that call into the mayor's office. You can have the confidence that you have a well-seasoned, a very strong group in the mayor's office, just carrying through. So it's a big positive after an election like this. I'd just like to as well thank everyone who voted to keep Sudbury on track, and all of the people in Sudbury who took the time to vote, to be heard, to make their choice. Very humbled that they selected me as mayor to continue on once more. It doesn't escape me that this is the first time that Sudburyans have re-elected a mayor since we became the city of Greater Sudbury, since amalgamation. So I thank you very much. Okay. And with that said, now it's time to have fun. So thank you. Trust in the success of the election process, and it was something that was fairly widespread, and so I would say that we were given assurances, and we accepted those assurances, and yet sometimes things do still go wrong.
And what are you going to say to the people who call this into question now, call into the entire election into question because of what happened yesterday?
Yeah, so I've been reassured that the election results are accurate, and the best way to move forward, I'm very confident the best way to move forward was to extend until 8 o'clock tonight. Every citizen had the opportunity to vote that wanted to vote, and even some that missed the deadline or thought they had missed the deadline, were able to get in to vote. So this doesn't affect the accuracy of the vote. It was unfortunate that it did have to get extended, but I truly believe that was the best decision.
I believe you're the first mayor since amalgamation to win a second term. What does that say about what do you have to say about that, and what does it say about people's confidence in you?
Well, I'm very humbled by the decision of the people to allow me to be the mayor for a second term. And what I can say is that I think many people do recognize the progress that we've made, the decisions that we've made, and they see the momentum that our community has. And I can assure everyone that an election process is a very good time to speak to the citizens, understand what's on their minds, and to fine tune the approach coming from the mayor's office and council. And so we'll be fine tuning our approach in our strategic plan with council as we move forward. Through my campaign as well, I focused on roads, which everyone focused on, and working with businesses and with developers who want to invest in our community. That's a huge focus to try to encourage investment, increasing our tax base and creating jobs, making our downtown safer, and improving the quality of communications from the citizens' perspective, so citizens from their perspective feel confident that they have the information they need. I know we've worked very hard on that, but our work certainly is not done, and we'll continue to work on that.
What kind of relationship have you been able to develop with the Ford government? And I ask that specifically because there's a lot of concern about the future of four-laning of Highway 69, and I'm just wondering, have you had any indication from them exactly what their plans are?
So most of their process up to now have been in doing their line-by-line reviews and really trying to set up their government and policies. And so there's been limited conversations through the election process. Now we can hit the ground running. I've got experience going down to Queen's Park and meeting with various ministers and talking to them. Had that opportunity in mid-August, although at that time they weren't really prepared to provide some clear direction on where they sat and where they felt they were going. I think things are clearer now, and so I'll be following up with them shortly. Okay.
Thanks very much, Brian.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.